Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Longboard Blues 1975. YouTubers on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Longboard Blues 1975.
This is Operation Wolf on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum, released by Ocean in 1988. Yes, I'm continuing my gameplay through some of Ocean's most popular, most famous, and best arcade conversions on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. The last time I played this was years ago when I compared it to the Commodore 64 version, and I think this is the better version. So basically, this was ported by Ocean to the Commodore, the Spectrum, the Amstrad. There's an MS-DOS version, there's an NES version, which is an Ocean, there's an Amiga version, an Atari ST version. Those versions are Ocean. There's a Master System version, which is not Ocean, an FM Towns version, which is not Ocean, and I'm pretty sure that is it. And it's based on the arcade machine of the same name, released by Taito in 1987, which was one of the most successful arcade machines of that year. It was very, very well received, not just by the public but by critics, and made Taito a shit ton of money. It has 3 sequels, of which I only consider its direct sequel, Operation Thunderbolt, which is more of the same but 2-player, to be somewhat anywhere of a sequel that is in line with the original game. Hell, I don't even think Operation Wolf 3, which I have a gameplay of name, is even technically an Operation Wolf game, and they just slapped the name on it. So it featured a light gun in the arcades that was obviously mounted to the cabinet in such a way that it was like on a swivel bracket or something like that. So it wasn't that you held it in your hand and it had a cable, it was actually directly mounted, but it was a light gun as far as I can tell, and it had a recoil action, and it was fully automatic. I remember as a kid playing this in the arcades in Westwood O, and like the rattle from the recoil really shaking my arms, because what was I in 1987, 11, 12, and it had a button on it so you could use grenades. What an Uzi, because it was basically an Uzi, would look like with a grenade launcher on, I don't know, but I'd like to see it. And obviously it was like the second coming of gun games in the arcades, because you hadn't seen anything like this with an Uzi. Excuse me, war gives me a gacky throat, and fully automatic recoil action. And there were 6 stages. It scrolled from left to right or right to left, and you are a commando dropped behind enemy lines, and basically you had to rescue a certain number of hostages. It was balls horrifically hard in the arcade, but obviously you had infinite continues. It was balls horrifically hard on all the home ports. I've got a gameplay of the Master System version and the Commodore 64 version and the PC Engine version. There's a brilliant version on the PC Engine. I have a gameplay of that versus the arcades. Don't worry, I'll get to this in a moment. And yeah, none of the home ports used light guns apart from the Master System, the NES, and believe it or not, the ZX Spectrum, which had a light gun pack, and we had this. It didn't come with our Plus 3, but there was a light gun pack, and it was called the Magnum. There was a whole bunch of games in it you could use the light gun on. Operation Wolf was one of them, and it worked alright, but it kind of took you out of the moment. The light gun was basically the Master System light gun, but with Sinclair on the side, shape-wise. But it took you out of the moment because a black bar would come across the screen and one would go up from the bottom, so to join, to point out where you were shooting based on the technology of you shooting at your CRT. Anyway, loved this in the arcades, absolutely loved it. Got it for my birthday that year, I think. It's got amazing artwork by Bob Wakeland. By the way, music and effects by Jonathan Dunn. Here's an idea, Jonathan Dunn. Where are they? Oh, I'll let you off. This is the 128K version, but there is a 48K version, and as far as I can tell, all the levels loaded in one go on both of them. But yeah, the box art for this is absolutely superb. Magazines went mental for it, and rightly so, because this is an absolutely fantastic port with massive sprites. It's monochromic, but you would expect that. Q up, A down, O left, P right, M fire, and Z grenade. Keys of champions. Right, one keyboard, which will start the game. Now, There you go. So those magazines, 7 above that score. Underneath that, the number of rounds in each magazine. Underneath that, rocket-propelled grenades. Underneath that, the number of things that you've shot, i.e., you know, vehicles and people. Beneath that, hostages. Begin with 7 magazines, 5 grenades. Good luck. Now that big white stripe going down the right-hand side of the screen. That looks like the arcade mine. That is... Oh shit! I just shot G.I. Jane. Too soon? See what I did there? Yeah, that is your health. So when it goes up yellow, you can see that I'm taking a hammering. They will throw knives at you. You can shoot them away. They will throw grenades at you. You can shoot them. Grenades destroy tanks in one go. But as you can see, right, it's bullsorifically hard. The sound effects are a bit quiet. It's well bullsorifically hard. Shoot the birds. That's health. Even in a battlefield, 5-second rule. But just so much going on. Smooth scrolling, quick scrolling. Helicopters are bastards. You're probably not going to see much of this, but yeah, we love this. Having to use shit. No, not use shit. Having to use, you know, crosshair or not, it's still a fantastic, you know, port of Operation Thunderbolt. I'm dead already. You have sustained a lethal injury. Sorry, but you are finished here. Obviously, you've also got the intro to some degree. Continue. Communication setup. You're going to put me straight back at the start. 6 levels. Cut off the enemy's communications and blah 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 blah. 7 magazines, 2 grenades. You can pick up extra magazines. You can pick up extra, you know, grenades. You want to save the grenades for as long as you can. Oh, I got your knife. That's what you get for bringing a knife to a gunfight. Now, whereas in the arcade it was fully automatic, you know. Well, it would have been stupid to have to... Shit. That was because of the grenade. To constantly pull the trigger. On the Spectrum, you have to hammer. Possibly if I used a joystick, I could have... Ooh, you know, use a turbo or something. But, that said... You've got tighter controls with the keyboard on the game. Oh shit, you get points for shooting the... well, shooting MASH, basically. So hard. So why it's so great is basically it's Commando, the game. Now before you say Commando was a game, no, that's Commando, the game. This is Commando, the movie, the game. This is basically a Schwarzenegger movie. I don't remember it being this balls hard. To be fair, I could only ever get to the end of level 2. And also, to be fair, if I had, you know, you have achieved a great score, enter your name. If I had auto-fire, I'm sure it would be a lot easier. Why wouldn't you let me enter my name? Fascist. But yeah, so this is music from the arcade. Bit quiet, but a great rendition. This is a fantastic arcade port, once again, of a game that has no right existing in any level of quality, much less as good as this on ZX Spectrum. Ocean also ported the sequel, Operation Thunderbolt, which is 2-player, and that had Mac 10s, didn't it? Oh, I have got auto-fire. It just doesn't look like you've got it. It only... when you go in front of them... That's when it flashes. That's a bit weird. That was a magazine. I'm almost... Oh, I've got infinite ammunition because my bullets are glowing. They're holy bullets. That was a magazine as well. Shot your knife. Get someone out in your life. But I want to see the guy who's basically Schwarzenegger, but he's got blonde hair. In fact, you could say he's the guy from the cover art, even though the guy on the cover art is supposed to be you, the main protagonist. Shit! I'm sorry. I can't get used to it not, you know, flashing. You know, my fire rate, if you will. Unless it's on that actually shoots an opponent. Now, obviously in the arcades there would have been a trail along the floor. Also, you do to some degree have to be... Oh shit! Careful, because you can run out of ammunition. And you don't want to run out of ammunition. It really ruins your day. I wouldn't know. I've never actually run out of ammunition in real life. But yeah, so this is brilliant. Obviously you grew up with the Spectrum, then the monochromic graphics are not going to bother you. That's level 1. Oh, just turns out I needed to work out and not have a massive brain fart moment that I just need to hold down fire. Does it? I don't know if it resets your health all the way. That might be a bonus thing, because obviously you're seated in dollars and accumulation. Let me read it, man. Communication set up jungle. This goes the other way, I believe. Extract enemy. Fuck's sake. I never read that fast when I was a kid. Yeah, see that? Yeah, you would have been used to it being monochromic if you grew up with the Spectrum. And that means you can have much more detail in the sprites. I'm pretty sure you should have had the, you know, Schwarzenegger looking bloke on the first stage. Pretty sure I did as a kid. Who's dropping all these guys? Especially in the jungle. I don't know if, when you see, probably with the helicopters, but when you see bad guys, do you need to concentrate, you know, on the vehicles first? Is it not a correct question if you just get more bonus points or whatever for them? Oh, that was because I shot a bird, I think. Oh, this just gives me even quicker fire. Or, is it because they basically dish out more death? I don't know. But all I know is it's come flooding back how great this port is and how much I loved it as a kid. And to be fair, even though we had the light gun version, I was in Master System territory at that time, although I never had Operation Wolf on the Master System. I had that amazing game, Rescue. Oh, on that was a grenade. But yeah, I played this with keys on the Master System because that light gun, you know, I'm sure you... Well, there was a Codemasters light gun as well. I don't know if that was as bad, but the light gun did not work that well on the Spectrum. Plus, its barrel, even though it was kind of the mould from the Master System one, seemed to be looking down ever so slightly, so it was never even that accurate. Communication setup jungle... Oh, it's telling me where I've been. Kill all enemies and take a rest. I like that. I can read that. Begin with 0 magazines, 1 grenade, shies and balls. Looks like the first level, but we're going the other way. Oh! Did that do anything? So you could already tell that even though I've worked out, you know, that I do have to keep fire down, it's balls horrifically hard. Probably never got this far in the arcade. I don't think I ever got level 1 in the arcade, but you didn't care because you just had that fuck off big Uzi and it just made you feel awesome sauce. And ultimately games like that and feeling awesome sauce was what it was all about. Look at the shit going on the screen. There's a little bit of slowdown. To be fair, you'd probably have a little bit of slowdown if there's this much shit going on in your face. Shies and balls. You sustained a lethal injury. Sorry, but you are finished here. My favourite home port is probably the PC Engine version. Yes. Are you going? Please give me a full bill of health. Go on, you know you want to. I'll be your best mate. Love you forever. Come on, come on. Yes, get some of that in your life. Gas in cooking. Much. What's the maximum number of grenades? Is it 5? Not really an issue since I pissed through them so quickly. I do like the fact that they did get, you know, the heads-up display like the arcade. Well, I was going to say where is everyone, but I'm not going to complain. So like the arcade, I should say, at the side of the screen. Little things like that are a big deal in replicating. Oh yeah, you got these little blokes you roll along. Big deal in replicating the arcade. That was hell. This is the bit where the entire G.I. Joe toy range, toy line, comes at me. Look, they're all playing roly-poly. Can't believe I said roly-poly. I haven't said that since I was a kid. Look at me getting all the maggots. Hang on, I want you. Yeah, just took out your entire bloody Air Force. What do you think about that? Oh, oh, this is not... I know I'm gushing, but honestly, this is so nice. I would say, mainly because obviously, spoiler alert, in the second game, you go into the screen on some segments. I don't know, I would say that worked quite as well. I would say this therefore is better than Operation Wolf, but you could Operation Thunderbolt. But then you could argue there are stages on that game. I will play it since I'm visiting all of Ocean's, you know, more impressive stuff. But that game was probably better graphics. Okay, thanks for the pause. Hey, cooking on gas. I don't know. Oh, it's money, is it? So I'm not commando, I'm bloody mercenary. Good to know. Also, apologies that I'm uploading this in 480, but guess what? Villagers freed and recovered, and you recover from damage. Powder magazine, that's an armory. Take ammunitions 5 force. Will do. But yeah, my internet's still shit. It appears that every time BT fix it, it only lasts for around about a day. because that's BT. There's Shizen. I think I possibly just got further than I ever got as a kid. Oh, he says, and then everyone chucks nades in my face because I got no nades myself. Why haven't I seen? There he is. I swear he was on the first level. Or was that the Mandela effect? Oh, look how much shit is going on. Had a complete brain fart. So yeah, basically he's Schwarzenegger, isn't he? Sorry, didn't mean to shoot you in the face, Schwarzenegger. Because even though this is 1987, as kids, we'd all seen Commando at this point, hadn't we? Get some of that. Oh, I should have used that one. I'm just going to pretend every single one of you was a British Telecom engineer. Get some of that. You're not going to give me a refund? Huh? Some of that then. Ooh, I love that bit when they grab their face. As if they'd be able to do that. They'd have no head left. And now, even though it's a 48k game, well, it's a 128k game, the graphics are, I demand realism in my games. He says, shooting a grenade out of the air. See, with the tanks, if you can get there straight, well, armoured vehicles, they're not tanks, straight away, then you've got time to be able to possibly do them, well, he says that and he didn't, without taking damage, because, well, they have to turn their turrets. Not very, slightly faster than very slowly, but, you know. So once I got around that don't hammer the fire button, we're doing alright. The raid on the powder magazine was successful, you have a new supply of ammunitions, it's the 5th level, concentration camp. There were 5 hostages help. This is where we freed hostages. Let's go. Oh, right to left. Jesus, look at Usain Bolt go. So anyway, I mean, you got to remember, that's a hostage, but I killed him. Shit. And that wasn't by accident. No! Oh! Maybe they could have put attribute clash in and made the hostages different colours. There he is. That's 1 free. At least I can say I... Oh, that's 2. Yeah, they're too similar. I mean, obviously because it's... There's 3. Am I going to fail? Yeah. Because I need to save all of them. Well, there you go. Operation Wolf on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. Another one of Ocean's greatest ports, best games, you know, and a fantastic achievement on a machine with such limited resources. And anyway, as always, as always, I'd love to know what you think of this game on whatever version you played it on, but specifically the Spectrum. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.